Last night, it was not expected to be a victory. It was very Democrat areas, but I don't think it was good for Republicans. I don't think it was good. I'm not sure it was good for anybody. I don't think so. Millions of Americans are going investing $10 billion. We have to get the country going. We will.
So Donald Trump, since I know you're watching, I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up.
If you want to see what congressional Democrats wish to do to America, just look at the result of yesterday's election in New York, where their party installed a communist as the mayor of the largest city in the nation.
My friends, we have toppled a political dynasty.
2025, Virginia chose pragmatism over partisanship.
We take oaths to a constitution, not a king, nor will it ever be ruled by kings.
Today, on the 1-year anniversary of the single most consequential election victory, they say, this is them, this isn't me. I'm a very modest person, I would never say this. We restored our sovereignty. We lost a little bit of sovereignty last night in New York, but we'll take care of it, don't worry about it. After last night's results, the decision facing all Americans could not be more clear. We have a choice between communism and common sense. It's common sense or communism. And now let's see how a communist does in New York. And we'll help him. We'll help him. We want New York to be successful. We'll help him a little bit, maybe.
I am young. I am Muslim. I am a democratic socialist. No more will New York be a city where you can traffic in Islamophobia and win an election. After all, if anyone can show a nation betrayed by Donald Trump how to defeat him, it is the city that gave rise to him. And if there is any way to terrify a despot, it is by dismantling the very conditions that allowed him to accumulate power. This is not only how we stop Trump, it's how we stop the next one.
If you read the pollsters, the shutdown was a big factor, negative for the Republicans. And they say that I wasn't on the ballot was the biggest factor. But I don't know about that, but I was honored that they said that.
It feels like a changing of the guard for real this time.
What are your biggest policy hopes?
That average people can actually live in the city.
That we do not look at Washington, D.C. as if it is the reason for all of the problems right here in New York City. Many of the issues we are speaking about, they predate President Trump. The White House hasn't reached out to congratulate me. I continue to be interested in having a conversation with President Trump.
The idea that a quote-unquote Democratic socialist mayor is going to make the city inhospitable for Wall Street, I think that is genuine, is very much overblown. New York is not going to be the paradise that Mondani wants it overnight, and the President Trump will use that to his effect in campaigning, in helping campaigns for folks running in 2026.
I think they're kamikaze pilots. I just got back from Japan. I talked about the kamikaze pilots. I think these guys are kamikaze. They'll take down the country if they have to. I said, how much of the company do you own? It's time for Republicans to do what they have to do, and that's terminate the filibuster. It's the only way you can do it. If they take power, and it's more likely that they take power if we don't do it, because we're not going to be passing any legislation, not going to approve anything. We're going to go 3.25 years. There won't be one bill that we're going to pass. Because the easiest thing to pass is exactly right now what they won't pass. But the biggest thing is the filibuster. If they do, they're going to do it anyway, and they are going to immediately do the filibuster. And when they do the filibuster, they're going to pack the court. They want at least five justices. Now I hear it's up to 5. I actually heard up to 7 and up to 9, okay?
Led by President Donald Trump's Solicitor General.
How do you think the court case went today, the Supreme Court hearing?
I think it went very well. I think the Solicitor General made a very powerful case for the need for the president to have the IEPA powers, and I believe that the other side, in a way, fell flat on their face.
What's the plan B if the Supreme Court ultimately rules against the president's proposal?
We're not going to discuss that now. We're going to cross out. That's your words, not mine, and it's a silly statement, so don't make it.
What is Plan B for trade policy?
The White House is always preparing for Plan B. It would be imprudent of the president's advisors not to prepare for such a situation.
He looked Justice Roberts squarely in the eyes and said the American people, not foreign countries, but the American people are going to pay 30 to 80% of these tariffs, and then had the gall to look all of those justices again in the eye and say that these are not taxes on the American people. And they're doing it by abusing an emergency power.
Because they want to return to the failed Biden policies that created, and also Obama policies. I watched him the other day up talking, well, Donald Trump is a mean person. I'm not a mean person. I just want to have a country that's great again. Is that okay? I'm not a mean person. Well, this is very exciting. I call it the fat bill, remember? I mean, nobody's ever had announcements like this will slash the cost of Wegovy from $1,350 a month to ultimately $250 a month. $1,350 to $250. Did I do a good job? They're all right about it. You know, you think Biden could have done this? I don't think so. You take any of this stuff, Howard?
Not yet.
Okay, good. CMS administrator. Years of disparity where I haven't heard that, including the drugs known as executive job secretary. They make 45, 50 million.
Obesity is a disease of poverty, overwhelmingly. Obesity is the #1 driver of chronic disease. These drugs have only been available for people who have wealth. We'll lose 125 million pounds by this time next year.
What you asked us to achieve. It's now my sincere pleasure to first introduce Dave Ricks from Lilly and then Mike Dusto from Novo.
For nearly 150 years, my company, Eli Lilly, has been investing in America. We've been advancing science and creating high-value jobs. But today, we... Oh, are you okay? Gordon, you okay? Yeah.
One of the companies got a little bit lightheaded. You saw he went down, and he's fine. They just sent him out. He's got doctor's care, but he's fine. So we had a little bit of an interruption. Sorry for that. And I think we can just begin again.
Trump's Solicitor General. He looked Justice Roberts.
expressed some skepticism. What is your plan if they end up making a decision that's not in your favor?
Well, I'd rather discuss that later. I hope we're going to win that case. We'll have to develop a Game 2 plan. We'll see what happens.
Issues are ruling. It could be several weeks. Are you going to lay out any new additional tariffs before that?
I don't want to talk about it. I'm going to hope that we win. Anybody would do that kind of devastation to our country. You know, we'd have to pay back trillions of dollars. We've taken in trillions. We haven't taken in billions. We've taken in trillions of dollars. European Union, $950 billion. Japan, $650 billion. South Korea, $350 billion. Without this, we're not talking about that kind of money. And they're okay, they're satisfied, they love us, they just left. They all love us.
Yesterday in the Supreme Court, Chief Justice Roberts said that tariffs are taxes and that they're paid by Americans. He said this pretty clearly. And yet you're saying that this money is rolling in from other countries. How do you square those two?
It is, it's coming in because they've charged us. You know, but we had presidents that didn't know how to use tariffs. We had presidents that had no understanding of business.
So then do you agree then that Americans are paying those tariffs?
I think, no, I don't agree. I think that they might be paying something, but when you take the overall impact, the Americans are gaining tremendously. They're gaining through national security. Look, I'm ending war because of these tariffs. You want to bring out the big charts because it had no chance of standing. He said, look, I understand. The other countries, they all understand. Citizens, America is back.
It's the power to regulate foreign commerce. These are regulatory tariffs. They are not revenue-raising tariffs. The fact that they raise revenue is only incidental.
Americans are now dealing with an average 17.5% national sales tax because of these tariffs. That's what this is. And so what's going to happen is consumers are going to continue to pay more.
Tariffs are taxes. Congress has the power to impose taxes. The president does not.
Tariffs are bad because even though Donald Trump doesn't want to say so, he knows they are a tax on the American people.
If I didn't come along, our country would be destroyed right now. The tariffs have made us rich. This is the best one. And we can do other things, but they're slow by comparison. When we were threatened by the rare earths, and I did it instantaneously. It was a matter of seconds. And it was a matter of seconds and I got a phone call, let's work this out. We would have had not nearly the defense that we had. Or go back to Congress. Look at Congress. We can't even get a continuation from Congress. Think of that. How do you have to go back to Congress you have to do this spur of the moment. We're here spur of the moment. So I think it would be devastating if we lost that rule.
Do you think it's time for Republicans in Congress to change their negotiating position at all?
In what way?
To start making concessions to Democrats?
Well, I think it's time for them to end the filibuster and just put everybody back to work. And what the Democrats will do is they're going to make Puerto Rico a state. They're going to make D.C. a state. They're going to pack the court. They're going to end up with more electoral votes. They're going to end up with 4 senators. Because of the 2 states. And they're going to do this 100%. So if they're going to do it, I would do it. I would do it before them. What I'd like to see is I'd like to see voter ID. Who wouldn't approve voter ID? The Democrats. Why wouldn't they approve it? Because they cheat. There's only one reason not. We don't have voter identification. And we should have. Nancy Pelosi. I think she's an evil woman. I'm glad she's retiring. I think she did the the country a great service by retiring. Evil woman who did a poor job, who cost the country a lot in damages and in reputation. I thought she was terrible. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.